What is up, fight fans? Welcome back to Picking a Fight. I'm Latch, and today we're going to be looking at UFC Fight Night Rodriguez versus Lemos. We're going to be looking at the co-main event, Neil Magny versus Daniel Rodriguez. But before we get started, don't forget to like this video, subscribe if you haven't. We're putting out videos for almost every fight night and pay-per-view, including the fights next week, UFC 281, Adesanya versus Pereira. So go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss those. And yeah, let's get right into it. So we got the Haitian sensation, number 13 ranked Neil Magny. He is 26-9. He's 35 years old. He's 6'3" with an 80-inch reach. And he's coming off a loss to Shavkat Rakhmonov. And before that was a win over Max Griffin. And he is going up against number 14th ranked Daniel D-Rod Rodriguez, who is 17-2. He is 35 years old. He's 6'1" with a 74-inch reach. And he's coming off a 4-fight win streak with his last two over Li Jingliang and Kevin Lee. So the odds are super close on this fight. D-Rod is a plus 100 as the time of recording this, while Magny's a slight favorite at minus 120. And yeah, so we got Neil Magny. He's obviously a staple in the welterweight division. He's a possible gatekeeper. A lot of people tend to call him that. Only the top guys have been able to beat him, and the not so great guys have faltered. But yeah, he's very difficult to beat because he's super well rounded. He's got solid hands. He stays very long and uses his 80-inch reach to kind of keep his opponents at a distance. He tends to throw good combos. He doesn't have the most power in his hands, but he tends to sting his opponents just enough for them to kind of keep their distance. I think a glaring hole in his game has always been his wrestling. It's pretty decent, but it's not been great enough to stop great wrestlers from taking him down and controlling him. His jiu-jitsu is pretty solid. Like I said, he's super well-rounded. He's not necessarily great at one thing, but he's been able to mix it up. And if you're one of those fighters he faced and beat that, wasn't ready, then he probably mixed it up and kind of used all the martial arts to kind of beat you. Yeah, and I think when it comes to the striking, Neil Magny has to be the one pushing forward. I think whoever's pushing forward will be the biggest threat. Obviously, Neil Magny needs to be pushing D-Rod and make D-Rod fight backwards, which he's able to do, but D-Rod does way better coming forward. If he's going backwards, that kind of his jab kind of goes out the window. And, they will be in opposite stances. Neil Magny does tend to switch, but D-Rod is normally always in his southpaw stance. He's more of a traditional boxer. He has more of a traditional boxing style. He's super, super scrappy. He leads with his jab, like I said earlier. He has really good power on his jab. He just has pretty powerful hands in general. I think so far his ground game has been his weakness. He's been taken down a few times. Luckily, he really hasn't been held down too badly. He did get taken down by a way smaller Kevin Lee, though, and was able to get controlled. So that's not a very good sign. But we have seen that his takedown defense, it has gotten better, but it's still not great. I don't think it's where it needs to be. And we've seen Neil Magny, although he's not a great wrestler, he has been able to. And Neil Magny, he's not the greatest wrestler, nor is he known for his wrestling, but we have seen him pull it out when he needs to. And I think this might be one of those fights where he pulls out the wrestling and his jiu-jitsu, because that's a glaring hole in D-Rod's game. So I do think he will be trying to take him down, if not maybe just clinching him against the fence and kind of grinding out the fight like that, not letting D-Rod kind of fight at a distance. I just think D-Rod's grappling is not good enough. But it's okay because Neil Magny's grappling is not that great. So they might be at a stalemate there. But I think when it comes to the feet, even though D-Rod has amazing power, way more than Magny does, I think Magny's just a veteran of this game. And I think this is a big test for D-Rod. Obviously, they're really close in rank, D-Rod being 14, Magny being 13. Guys that fight and win against Magny, tend to stay ranked because, like I said, Magny kind of, I don't want to call him a gatekeeper, but he's kind of a gatekeeper. So this is actually a huge test for D-Rod. There's nothing but hard fights from here on out if he beats Magny. So this is a huge test for him, and I honestly think he's gonna fail his test. I think Magny's just too. I think Magny is just too savvy. I think he just really knows how to use everything to his advantage to eke out decision wins. We saw that in the Max Griffin fight. Max Griffin dropped him early, and then he was able to just kind of use everything: his grappling, his clinch, his striking, his aggressiveness, his reach. He was able to use everything to kind of turn the tides on that fight and eventually win that fight. So, and against Shavkat, that was a big test for Shavkat too, and he passed with flying colors. He passed the Neil Magny test, so it's going to be interesting, but I have Magny by decision. I just think overall he's going to stifle D-Rod's offense. And yeah, it's a very, very close fight. Let me know down below what you think. Do you think I'm underestimating D-Rod's grappling? Do you think he's going to knock Magny out? Let me know down below. And yeah, it's going to be a great night of fights. Don't forget to tune in. Don't forget to check out our other videos. We're doing 2 other fights on this same card, including the main event. So go ahead and check those out if you haven't. And yeah, I'll see you next week for UFC 281, Adesanya versus Pereira. We're going to be dropping videos on that entire main card. So subscribe so you don't miss those. I'll see you next week. But until then, take care.